How is everyone feeling today? And how are the hangovers treating you? Honestly, I'm feeling brilliant, fresh as a daisy. I made the wise choice last night to keep the celebrations a bit more moderate. No going over the top, just soaking it all in properly, and it paid off because now I'm ready to relive every single moment of what was an absolutely unforgettable day as Celtic lifted their 55th league title. Aye, that's right. Celtic are champions once again, and let's be honest, we're going to be talking about this for a good while yet. Days like yesterday don't just come and go. They're meant to be savored, celebrated, sung about, and remembered with every bit of joy in our hearts. And before we properly dive into it, just a quick moment to say a massive thanks to every single one of you. This past week has been mental in the best way possible. We smashed through 49,000 subscribers here on the channel, and we're closing in fast on that golden number. 50,000, we're sitting less than 950 away. So if you have not yet hit that button, now's the perfect time. Let's keep this momentum rolling, just like the boys have kept it rolling all season long. Alright, right on to the important bit. Let's take a wee look back at how things stood before the madness kicked off yesterday. The league table going into round 34 had Celtic clear at the top. And after yesterday's 5-0 demolition job over Dundee United, we are officially crowned champions, sitting a whopping 17 points ahead of Rangers. 17 points clear. Let that sink in. It isn't just about clinching the title, it's about making a statement. And to be fair, Rangers once again dropped points themselves, which just sealed it mathematically and removed any lingering doubts. The scenes at Tannadice were pure magic, weren't they? Thousands of Celtic fans, players, staff, all united in one massive celebration. And then you had the supporters flooding into Celtic Park, later on turning the stadium into a sea of green and white. It's 4 titles in a row now, 4. And let me tell you, it never ever gets old. People sometimes ask if winning all the time gets boring. Absolutely not. Not in a million years. Every title, every trophy, every parade feels just as sweet, just as special, and just as emotional. We soak it all in. We live it properly because this is what it's all about. 55 league titles, folks. 55 times we have conquered Scotland, and each one adds another proud chapter to the story of this magnificent club. And yesterday's performance was fitting of champions. 5 goals, none conceded, and a display that absolutely summed up everything we've been about this season. Relentless, powerful, confident. We didn't just stumble over the line, we came roaring over it, sending out a message to everyone watching that Celtic Football Club is and always will be the top dogs of Scottish football. Now as we look ahead to the final 4 matches of the campaign, there's no pressure. The job is done. But make no mistake, the lads will want to finish this season with a bang stretching that lead even further. There's a real chance we could end up over 20 points clear if we keep our focus. And that would just be the cherry on top, wouldn't it? A perfect way to remind everyone, especially those across the city, exactly who runs things around here. Just for a wee reminder, because sometimes folk need it hammered home, the honours list is looking absolutely ridiculous now. 55 league titles, 40, 2 Scottish Cups, and it might well be 43 very soon. 20, 2 league cups, and of course that glorious European Cup sitting proudly in our history. A grand total of 120 major honours. That is the most in Scotland by far. No debates, no arguments, no twisting of facts. The most successful club in Scotland, plain and simple. And for anyone asking, no, it does not get tiring. Watching Celtic lift trophy after trophy is the kind of thing you dream about when you're a wee kid kicking a ball about in the street. I would happily watch Celtic win the league every single year for the rest of my life, and I would still celebrate like it was the first time. That feeling of pride, of joy, of belonging, it never fades. If anything, it grows stronger. And with this squad, this manager, and this incredible support, the future looks just as bright as the present. Speaking of pride, let's take a minute to recognize a historic achievement from one of our own. After yesterday's win, one player officially became the most decorated footballer in Celtic's history. 26 trophies lifted in the green and white, surpassing some absolute legends of the club. 15 years he's been giving his heart and soul to Celtic, and now he stands alone at the top of the mountain. That is fairy tale stuff. Imagine growing up dreaming of playing for your club and not only doing it, but becoming the most successful player to ever wear the shirt. It's almost too good to be true. But it's real and it's his. What a day for him. What a moment for all of us who have been privileged to watch him all these years. Of course, whenever Celtic achieves something, you know there are going to be folk trying to twist the narrative, trying to downplay it. I had a right good laugh scrolling through some of the nonsense on social media over the past 24 hours. Apparently 55 titles isn't that impressive because someone else did it first. Come on now. You can smell the desperation a mile off. It's pure denial. But it just makes our success taste even sweeter, doesn't it? Let them moan, let them cry. We will be here lifting trophies, making history, and singing our songs louder than ever. Since 2019, Celtic have won 19 major trophies. 19 in just 6 years. And some folks still want to pretend there's a debate to be had. I'm not even going to waste breath trying to explain it to those who refuse. To see reality. If you get bored of winning, you're following the wrong club, simple as that. This weekend wasn't just another celebration. It was a declaration. Celtic Football Club stands tall, proud, and untouchable in Scottish football. And with a possible treble still on the horizon, there's still plenty more to play for. So let's keep the party going. Let's show them exactly what it means to be part of this club, part of this history, and part of this unstoppable green and white wave that just keeps rolling on. And I will get to Brendan Rodgers as well, because he had a few things to say after the match that should put a lot of minds at ease about what's coming next season. Brendan Rodgers, after the final whistle yesterday, stood there with a grin that could have lit up the whole of Glasgow. You could see it in his face, in his body language. This title meant the world to him. And for anyone who had doubts swirling about whether he'd be here next season, he put that to bed in no uncertain terms. He came out and said plain as day, I'll be here next season 200%. Not 100, not 150, 200. That's the kind of commitment you love to hear from your manager, especially when the media has been buzzing for months with rumors and whispers trying to unsettle the place. He joked a bit too, having a wee laugh about how he once said he was 150% sure, and now he's upped it to 200. You could tell by the way he spoke, this is a man who feels at home, who feels appreciated, who feels loved. And for someone who's been around football long enough to know how fickle it can be, that counts for a lot. Rodgers said it himself. He's never been happier at Celtic than he is right now. That says everything. He talked about the incredible bond he has with the players, the staff, the supporters. You cannot manufacture that kind of connection. It's earned over time with results, with trust, with moments like yesterday. Honestly, hearing him speak, it just reinforced what many of us already felt deep down. Brendan Rodgers is not just passing through. He is building something here. He's invested in this project, this club, this vision. And with another 2 years left on his deal, we've got every reason to believe that the best days are still ahead. What happens after that? We will cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, we have a leader who is fully committed, who understands what this club means, who knows what it takes to keep winning and to keep raising standards. That's massive. And it's funny, because no matter how much success we have, there's always noise in the background. Folk always wanting to stir the pot, throw a bit of drama into the mix. But when you listen to Brendan speak, it cuts through all that nonsense. It gives you that sense of calm, of certainty, of purpose. We're not just here to win the odd title. We're here to dominate, to set records, to leave no doubt about who the kings of Scotland are. But speaking of noise yesterday, wasn't just about football. There was also a powerful message sent off the pitch by our supporters. During the match at Tannadice, there were 2 clear moments of protest against the ridiculous rise in ticket and prices. First half tangerines were thrown onto the pitch, a nod to Dundee United's nickname, of course, but a clever way to draw attention to the issue. Then in the second half, footballs rained down from the stands along with a massive banner, making the feelings of the traveling support crystal clear. Now I know some folk might say that disrupts the game or it's not the right way to do it. But I'm telling you straight, sometimes you need to make noise to be heard. Sometimes a polite letter just gets tossed in the bin. These protests made headlines. They forced conversations. They highlighted a serious problem, that football, the people's game, is slipping further and further away from the very people who make it what it is. A 25% increase in ticket prices compared to the last time we played Dundee. United in December 2024, £42 for a seat at Tannadice. That's scandalous. It's not just a Dundee United problem either. It's part of a wider creeping culture across Scottish football, one of greed, short-sightedness. and disregard for working class fans who scrape and save to follow their teams week in, week out. After the game, a brilliant statement was put out by the Green Brigade and the wider Celtic support, spelling it all out. They acknowledged that clubs need revenue, that Scottish football relies heavily on gate receipts. Nobody's denying that. But there has to be a balance. You cannot price the lifeblood of the game out of the stands. Without supporters, football is nothing, just empty shells and soulless echoes. They pointed out that supporting Celtic across a full season now costs close to £2,000 when you add up season tickets, home cup games, European matches, and away trips. £2,000? That's a mortgage payment. And to add insult to injury, the cheapest ticket most fans bought this season was £16. Not at Fir Park, not at Pittodrie, but away to Borussia Dortmund in one of the grandest stadiums in Europe. 16 quid to see Celtic at the Signal at Duna Park, but over 40 to see them at Tannadice. Madness. That protest yesterday, the tangerines, the balls, the banners, it was about more than just one game or one club. It was a statement for the whole of Scottish football. It was a cry from the heart that enough is enough. And frankly, it's about time more fans across the country stood up and said the same. Of course, social media being what it is, there were the usual clowns piping up, accusing Celtic fans of hypocrisy or attention-seeking. Some daft comments about away fans paying £78 elsewhere, missing the point entirely. It's not about one-off high prices at fancy stadiums. It's about the relentless grinding rise everywhere, every week, that's pricing out ordinary supporters. Some even tried to mock the protest by highlighting that certain sections at Tannadice are often half empty anyway, as if that somehow invalidates the message. Utter nonsense. If anything, the empty stands are proof of the problem. If folk can't afford to come anymore, it's not because they stopped loving the game. It's because the game stopped loving them. Will anything change? Honestly, I'm not. Holding my breath. More likely prices will keep creeping up, squeezing more and more people out. But the hope is that if enough noise is made, if enough banners are waved, if enough footballs and tangerines hit the pitch, maybe, just maybe, someone in power will listen. Maybe the clubs will realize they are slowly strangling the very thing that keeps them alive. It might be wishful thinking, but hope is what keeps supporters going, isn't it? Hope for better days, better seasons, better treatment. Just like we hope for trophies, we also hope for a game that stays true to its roots. And make no mistake, Celtic supporters will keep fighting for that. Just as fiercely as we fight for our club on the pitch, we will fight for the right to follow it off the pitch without being priced out, excluded, or treated like cash machines. That's what yesterday was really about. On and off the park. Pride, passion, community, and a reminder that football belongs to us, the fans, the lifeblood, the heart and soul of the game. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. James McClean has arrived at Celtic's headquarters to finalize a 4-year contract, signaling the club's first major signing ahead of the new season. The 35-year-old winger, known for his fiery spirit and relentless work rate, was seen entering Celtic Park earlier this morning, greeted by a small group of enthusiastic fans eager to welcome the Irish international to Glasgow. Sources close to the negotiation confirmed that McClean passed his medical without issues and agreed terms late last night. The move comes as part of Brendan Rodgers' efforts to add experience and depth to a squad aiming to strengthen his dominance domestically and make a stronger impression in European competition. McClean, who left Wrexham at the end of last season, had several offers on the table, but was reportedly eager to seize the opportunity to play for one of Britain's most historic clubs. The Derry-born winger brings a wealth of experience, having previously played for Sunderland, West Bromwich Albion, Stoke City, and Wigan Athletic, among others. His fiery competitiveness and tireless running have made him a cult hero wherever he has played. And there is optimism within Celtic's ranks that he will bring a new edge to the team's wide options. Although some have questioned the wisdom of offering a 4-year deal to a player already in his mid-30s, Rodgers appears confident that McClean's fitness levels and leadership qualities will be invaluable, particularly as Celtic prepare for another grueling campaign on multiple fronts. His signing is also seen as a move to inject more character into the dressing room, an area where the club felt it lacked last season during key European ties. McClean's arrival is expected to be officially announced later today, with a presentation scheduled at Celtic Park. He is likely to join pre-season training next week and could make his debut in the early rounds of the League Cup. The fans, still buzzing from another domestic title, will be eager to see how the veteran winger fits into Rodgers' evolving plans. In a summer that promises more movement at Parkhead, McClean's signing could be the spark that ignites a busy transfer window for the Scottish champions. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.